Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Dragonuck Connect series, where we are interviewing acting coaches within the Mid-Atlantic area. And today we have with us a guest, a very special acting teacher and coach, and his name is John Pallotta. John, are you there?
I'm here. Glad to be here, Jay.
Glad to have you here today. We are doing a series of interviews so our members can get a chance to see what the acting coaches are like in the area. You know, they get a lot of advertisements that we send out and pushing this class and that class. But we want to give them an idea, a better idea, by showing them a video interview of what you and your classes are all about. So I've got a
Okay.
bunch of questions for you, and hopefully you can answer them for our members.
Certainly. Be happy to answer anything you have to say, Jay.
The first thing is you are an actor, correct?
I'm an actor, a playwright, director, author, and adjunct professor now.
Uh-huh. And when did you start acting and how did you get into it?
September marks my 40th year in this industry, Jay. I've had the opportunity in my lifetime to have studied with perhaps the greatest masters of this industry. One of my first teachers was a man we all know, a man by the name of Lee Strasberg. That's how old I am. And after Lee, I studied with Stella Adler, herself, Uta Hagen, herself, Bobby Lewis, himself. These are all great, great, great masters of the craft. Having the opportunity to study with these great people, I've learned quite a lot, in my 40 years of study. And I continue to study. I'm forever a student, a teacher, and I grow as an artist, as a teacher, and as a person and student. One of the first people I ever coached was a young model, amongst others, by the name of Reese Witherspoon. And
I've
she
heard of
was
her.
that. I've heard of her too. Although I can't claim myself as her coach, I'm just the one of many people she's probably crossed paths with. It was myself along with other people, so I was probably just a breeze blowing through her hair. But throughout the years, people have asked me, you give me your idea on this, John. Since you study with Lee, since you study with Uda or Bobby and Stella Adler, give me your opinion on how I should approach this character, or what am I missing in today's methods and today's ideologies. And I've created my own technique. Almost every acting class in the world trains their actors to play an objective. In other words, to choose an action based on information you get from reading the script, why the character is doing what they are doing. I mean, that's the easy part of playing with actions. The piece of the puzzle that few actors forget to deal with is the personal layer of why they are playing those actions. Consider this. Without personal need to accomplish the action, you have not yet earned the right to stand on that stage to speak the words of that script. I'm talking about the true need to do the things you were doing in the play, the true need, not the pretended need, the indicated need, or the authentic need. Having the true need to do what you're doing is the seed of life. Just like you have need, desire, wants, your character has to have the same. Even the way you in life, you know everything about yourself, the way you sleep and think, your character has to have that same need, that same desire, that same want.
Got it.
So, like I was saying before about not the pretended need or the indicated need, but the authentic need. Having the true need to do what he is doing is the seed of life. Your actions have to be purposeful. You have to have the true need to do the things you do in the moment, or you're not going to bother doing them. It's the same for the stage. It's the same in film. We call this purpose. Your acting must be truly purposeful.
Got it.
Remember, theater or acting is not an imitation of our lives. It demands a greater truth. True purpose is the essential need. So I teach my actors to seek out a greater truth behind their work.
Right.
And I think that's the key element behind my classes. The philosophies of Method and Meisner and Adler and Stroud and Chekhov, and I said Stanislavski and Viola Spolin, all those, they're based on turn of the century fundamentals and principles based on psychological body movement behavior from an 18th century point of view.
Got it.
Times will change. As Lee Strasberg said, times will change. The human condition will change. We, as human beings, will change. And he encouraged us to go on and prove these methods wrong. Now, if we were a subject of the 1890s, when these methods were developed through Stanislavski from Russia, what he wanted to do was have Stella Adler, Bobby Lewis, Lee, Strasberg, all those people implement his methods in all the educational facilities throughout the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And all those teachers in turn said, hell, I want my own methods in all the schools across the United States. So one by one, Lee Strasberg, Sanford Meisner, Stella Adler, they all broke apart from the group theater and created their own methods.
Right.
Now, reality, these are not methods. These are businesses. Businesses meant to keep you in school. Through my belief, my belief on acting is that acting is a state of mind. It is about innocence. It's about imagination, vulnerability. It's about practicing the potential qualities you were born with as a child. And the least you think about acting like an actor, and the more you think about acting like the child, the more innocent and in the moment you will be. To sum it up, Jay, my actors in my class are given opportunities that I believe they won't find in any other acting class, such as intense on-camera work, on-set location. My students have gone on to perform in such projects as The Americans, Billions, Blacklist, Blind Spot, Blue Bloods, Broad City, Deadbeat, Difficult, Divorce, Elementary, Family, The Get Down, Good Girls, Good Wife, Gotham's, and the list goes on.
Right.
But not only as actors. And also in the Baltimore area, I'm one of the few that is actually creating Emmy winners. I have 2 Emmy winners in your area. Which I'm very, very proud of. One of them being Kelvin Terrell, who's only acting 6 to 7 months, and he was nominated for an Emmy, which I am so very, very, very proud.
Well, there's something I wanted to mention.
Yes,
I wanted to tell everybody that a couple of years ago, what I like to do is with certain acting teachers that we advertise for on Traganuk, I like to go into the class and take a look at what they're doing and make sure that, they're everything that our people need. And a couple of years ago, I went to one of John's classes.
That's me.
And just wanted to make sure that he was okay, And there was a woman who was up in the front doing a little part. And
Her first acting class with me.
What was that, her first acting class?
With me.
With you. And she did her part, and everybody went, okay, and let's go to the next one. And John took her to the side and did some whispering to her and kind of gave her some tips, I assume, in your own little way. And then she came back and did the same part, and there were just wild applause after she was done. So you must have done something for her. So I just wanted to let our group know that, yeah, he can teach, and I've seen it, so...
I think what I do is teaching acting is the wrong word, what I do. I put you in touch with who you are. I'd like to believe that I spent all these years, and actors foolishly spend all this money on acting classes, where they should be learning about who they are cinematically. I rely less on acting and more on what I call the human condition and how far you are willing to go. My whole fundamental, my book, or one of them, I have several books on the craft of acting. One of them is called Character Works, The Art of Emotional Triggering, where it is, anything I find and traveling all throughout the States and still taking acting classes. I take advanced acting classes. I take beginning acting classes. The problem I see is the student is 20, 30 feet away from the teacher, right? Or 20 feet away from the teacher. The student gives a performance. The teacher's away from that student. The distance. So the thing is, when I'm not necessarily whispering something in their face. I am face to face. The signal cannot be lost. I am directly in front of them in real time. And if you watch my coaching videos, and I have a lot of them out there, when I'm giving someone advice, and I use this when I'm on set, because a lot of times I'm an on-set coach, not just a teacher in the class, I am right in their face. So there's no chance of that signal being lost.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, Bill Hickey was the Oscar nominee for Pritz's Honor. And he used to get right in my face so the signal wouldn't get lost. He used to say, John, sometimes you could be duzibans, which means unfocused. But when he was right there in front of me, it was as clear as day. As clear as day. And I would be able to see that scene in front of me and unfold right in front of me.
So you've learned how to do that with your students?
Yeah, I've learned how to do that, and it's effective. And I have to figure out ways that are going to keep actors on top of their game.
So that's something that I've noticed, especially on your Facebook posts, that you're filming everybody in a cinematic way. Now, did they get copies of this when you're done?
Yeah, they get copies. What we do is because we shoot in 4K, you know how large 4K is. I'm not going to get into this. I'm not going to hand them a 4K video because they're going to sit by their computer for 3.7 years,
right,
and try to upload that. Plus, on a 64 gig or 128 gig card, by the end of their month or the end of their 3 months or 4 months, we'll literally shoot maybe 10, 15 scenes with them, and something that'll look like, like we shot this woman yesterday, Bola was her name, where we did a live action scene, car moving. You saw the pictures, and the video's up now.
Yep, I saw it.
And we usually do 1-2 day turnaround on people's, and we edit it, make it look like NCIS or whatever we're filming.
What's the best Facebook page that they can go on to see all your stuff?
Well, pretty much they mirror one another, so John Pallotta's fine.
John Pallotta, go to John Pallotta, and you can see a lot of this stuff on John Pallotta on Facebook.
Yeah, or also YouTube Pallotta Studios.
Right. Yeah, I do like that.
Go right to my website.
Yeah, it gives a lot of great footage that I know that people use on their demo reels. So going to your class is almost like going on a set, on a movie set, so they can see, not only are they acting correctly, and you can teach them what they need to know, but they get some good footage too.
They're walking out with something, not just training, things they need to know on set. There's nothing wrong with what other people are teaching them. That's fine. But the thing is, after a while, you're going to have to take what you learned in the classroom and apply it on set.
Okay, what areas, you say you have a few different studios. What areas do you teach in?
New York's been my hub for the past almost 15 years. New York City, Philadelphia, I just opened up last month. Moved here. And then Baltimore, I've been in Baltimore, D.C. area. Well, I'm in Baltimore now 6 years. Fairfax, which I'm there once a month.
That's where you do the TV show?
Yeah, Chicago, I'm there once, twice a month. Boston, I'm there probably once every other month. I'm also the first acting teacher invited to Cuba.
Cuba. Got it.
I'm going there with $50,000 worth of camera gear. Hopefully I'll make it out. So,
all right. Well, congratulations on that.
Yeah, and then one more place, Israel. I was asked to teach in the West Bank.
Very good. Very good.
So,
all right. Well, let's get to the final part, and this is the thing that a lot of the actors are tuning in for. You say you have a special. I always say that I make sure that I get these guys to give you Dragonuck members a special. So what's your special right now?
Well, of course we have it where they can always come and check out a class free, sample class free.
New students.
They could always, because I believe I may not be right for everybody, or I may not be right for them. The student and the teacher must mesh.
Mm-hmm.
My approach is aggressive. Not that I'm mean, I'm direct.
Right.
The industry is a lot more forceful than I will ever be.
Gotcha.
I'm determined to create the best actor within you or whoever's coming into my class.
Yeah, but for how much?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
We're all waiting.
Normally it's $300 to $350 a month, $600 to $700 for 2 months,
right.
$900 for 3 months,
mm-hmm.
and $1,200 for 6 months.
Gotcha.
And then we have mentorship programs and whatnot. And then we charge extras for your completed videos. But we're going to be doing it where we were charging $5.99 for a 3-month program, which is less than $200 a month, but for a 3-month program. And then for $9.99, we'll give them 6 months.
Okay.
And in that 6 months, that comes out to, I don't know how much because my math is bad. And I just hope my board of
Yeah, we'll
directors
figure
is
it out.
keeping
We'll
this.
put it down below so you could all see John's specials. So take a look below and see what he's charging. Now, if they have any questions, what do? Do they contact you? Do they email you? Do you have somebody to answer questions? How does it work?
Yeah, they can email me or my assist at assists, ASSISTS, at johnpallotta.com.
And there's a button down below for that. Yeah, you could click on the button below and ask any specifics. So number one, you can go in, if you're a new student, you can see the class for free. Don't expect to be on camera, though, if you're coming in for free. It's just for viewing. Second is we have the special prices below. If you have any questions, you can email assists@johnpallotta.com. And finally, John Pallotta's his website also, there's a button down below where you can go to his website and look around. Okay, good deal. Well, again, if you have any other questions for John, go ahead and email him. Otherwise, all the information is below. I hope you fill your class, and if you have any questions, you know how to do it. Thanks for coming tonight, Dragon Uckers, and have a great day. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.